Well, Dave, as you guys continue this 5-game road trip, is tonight about matching the other team's desperation as well?
Well, you recognize they're going to be a desperate team. They've had a bit of a rough go lately. They're coming back home here. They're going to be a real desperate team. So we have to continue to play the way we have. I like some parts of our game. There's still some parts of our game that we can improve, but we got to show up, play a real good, strong road game, make sure we stay with the things that we do well, and see if we can get the result that we want.
Are you going with Mike tonight?
Mike will go back in tonight, yeah.
Now, when you have a player as competitive as Mike Smith, and he kind of maybe tailed off for a little bit during December, what does it do for the team when a guy who's as competitive as Mike finally gets his mojo back?
Well, I mean, that's the key there. You said right there. He gets his mojo back. He's playing well, so we're going to try to ride the hot hand right now. We did that a little bit with Koski in December when Mike's game wasn't where he'd like it. So right now we're just riding. But he's a veteran guy. When he's out there, you know, he's engaged in the game. He gives our group some life. So just trying to maximize every player, and the goaltender's no different.
Have you done this in your career? Have you had you started out the season, it was 2 and 2 and 2. Now you're kind of freelancing on that a little bit. Have you experienced this two-goalie thing much?
Not a lot, only through some injury stuff, you know, where you're trying to find. But, you know, most of my years in Dallas, I had Marty Turco was number one, and then had Brizgalov, and then Schmitty in Arizona. So, but right now, like as the year's gone on and coming into the year, actually, you look at the schedules and games and the importance of games now. I really think it's turning a little bit more to a two-goalie league, where especially when you're out west with the travel that we have out there. So we're just trying to maximize each guy. We've got two guys that I think are very capable of doing the job, and try to maximize each start they get and see if we can find ways to win with them.
Can you perceive like a psychological effect on both goalies when you ride the hot hand, and like do you feel like it
You know what? That was part of our thought process at the start of the year, going 2 and 2. We wanted to make sure that our team felt confident in both guys going in, and that's exactly what happened. You know, if you ask anybody in our dressing room who's playing goal tonight, it's not a big concern to them. They think both guys can do the job. So I think we've established that, and players recognize when a goalie's playing well, throw him back in, and hopefully get another good start out of him. So that's where we're at.
Does anything need to be communicated to Koskinen, or is this pro sports and he knows how things work?
Oh no, things are communicated every day. Just like there's communication with Schmitty when Koski was starting more games. There's communication with Koskinen now, and you know they understand the situation. Both goalies. It's one way to look at it is you put themselves in the situation of the other guy. If they're playing well, they want to get back in the net, right? So Koski was playing well, he got back in the net, and Schmitty's playing well right now, he's getting back in the net. And
Could you do this in the playoffs?
I think you in the past you've seen some scenarios where teams have switched goalies in the playoffs and been successful. You know, they look at all the way back to Carolina. They did it a little bit. You know, it all depends. All depends on how well a certain guy's playing. If you get somebody that's really hot, you ride them. If you think you need a change, you make that change. That's to be determined.
With Smith, he's had highs and lows, but his save percentage is under 900. Is that misleading, or?
I think that tough stretch really hurt that number, but you're looking at each game and how you think you're going to win, and who gives you the best chance to win. I like both our guys, but right now we're just riding Smitty because he's been hot the last on this trip.
Is Matt Benning ready to go tonight?
No, he's with our team now, but he's still a ways off.
How important have those practices in Boston, Toronto, and yesterday here been to the way the team has performed?
They become very valuable. Coming out of the break after Christmas, we hardly practiced. I think we maybe had 2 or 3 practices in December, just with travel and our schedule. So having the ability to come out and really dial in, and not long practices, 15, 20 minutes, where you're dialing in on a couple things that you're really stressing with your team, have been really valuable for us. So, to have that balance of game and practice, I think is good for any team, and I know it's really benefited our team.
Has there been a conscious effort by the players to play a more defensive style, despite all the firepower that there is in this team lately?
Well, we've harped on that since started training camp that our goals against have to come down, and we've tweaked a few things in our game to try to get us maximizing that part of it. But I look at our team as we want to be a good defending team, but we also have some offensive players that we can be a good offensive team also. So we're looking for that happy balance. You see games like the Toronto game, where for the most part I thought we defended all right. We gave up 4 goals. We gave up that power play goal at the end. But so we still have to concentrate on defending. It's hard to give up a lot of goals in this league and outscore your mistakes. So we want to be a good defending team, but also recognize that we have players that are very good offensive players that you have to let them play.
Alex Jason's numbers are obviously lower than last year for obvious reasons, but what have you seen beyond the numbers? From him
Up
thus
and down a
far?
little bit. Still, he's works hard every day. He's really buys into the team structure and what we're trying to do there. So he's got a little less power play time this year with Neil coming in. That's affected his numbers a little bit, but for the most part, he's been a solid player for us.
It looked yesterday like Kara might be out. If he is, how do you replace what he brings to the PK?
You don't read too much into that. All right.